Hello, I'm Rémi Sardin. I'm technical instructor inside of Training and Certifications, and really happy to have you for this session on how to make a good start on AWS.
So today, Remy and me will introduce you to the various learning resources that are available to get you well started on AWS, or even to get you more proficient if you are already at an associate level. So in 2022, in 2022, Forrester Consulting led and then published a study where they interviewed dozens of organizations that trained their teams at scale. And the results were really very obvious. The organizations reported a return on investment of 234% after they trained their teams over 3 years, and over 100% the first 6 months. Another data that is really interesting is that these organizations also said that they saw a 50% faster migrations because their teams were able to identify automation problems. They were also able to overcome operational challenges faster and quicker, and they avoided manual rework. The last interesting data that I wanted to share with you today is that the same organization said that they saw an 88% increase in cloud innovations because their teams felt more confident in applying what they had learned. And the time to market of a proof of concept was reduced from 10 weeks to 1 week. So what are the learning resources that we have and that you have developed for AWS users? We have 4 main categories. The first category is the ILT, is the instructor-led training. These are classrooms that are led by our technical instructors, like Remy, for example, where learners can ask questions, interact with their peers, and then do hands-on labs in a safe learning environment. The second category is the AWS Skill Builder. It's an online learning center where you can have hundreds of modules and you can learn whenever you want, whatever you want, at your own pace. The third category is the academy. It's a free, customized curriculum that is developed for students so that students can learn, get enabled on AWS, and then get certified and pursue careers in the cloud. The last category is the AWS certification, which is a very important credential, industry recognized, that would give you more credibility in your professional life. So I'll go a little deeper on the AWS Skill Builder because it's really the way to get trained at scale. It's an online learning center that includes more than 600 modules in English that are also available in various other languages like French, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, and many other languages. And these modules are developed by our own AWS experts, and they are permanently updated with the new releases of the products. So what are the different categories? First, you have Cloud Quest. It's a game-based. It's like a video game where you are the hero, and we'll see with Remy just a few seconds later what it looks like. You have scenarios, you have challenges, you have to solve them, and you learn while you are playing. The second category are the labs. When you get online, when you get AWS Skill Builder, you get access to more than 300 labs where you can practice in a safe learning environment without incurring security risks or costs, like as if you were playing on the platform. The third category are the jams. Jams are use case challenges that take the format of an escape game. And it's really like one of the best modalities that our students really like a lot because they play and then you have the winner and you have like time constraints. It's really very interesting because it takes all that is positive from an escape game and you are learning at the same time. Then you have exam preparation with the Certification Hub. So the Certification Hub gives you tips and tricks to get prepared to take the AWS certification exam. And finally, if you are an organization and you have teams, you can create teams per region, per language, per time zone, per domain, even per role. And then you can create engagement by giving them badges, following on their reports and their progress, and create engagement on the AWS training. So these are the main resources, and we'll see with Remy demos on some of them so that you can go and be autonomous while you want to learn what is AWS.
Thank you, Daniel. So we have like a good overview about what are the impact of training and certifications for your organizations. We have great tools. So we're going to focus on one of them. If you need to remember about one thing today, is Skill Builder. So this is the platform that we use in order to have those digital content. So you can see I'm in the landing page of Skill Builders, where you have more than 600 courses available for digital content. You have also the fact that you can filter based on the language. You have the ability also to filter based on the domain, so architecting, machine learning, serverless, blockchain, Internet of Things, and many more. So the idea about skill builders is to have like an on-demand learning experience. So you can go to the platform, you select the course that you need, and then when you select the courses, what's going to happen? You're going to be able to, as a self-service, to select a course, start it, stop it, because we know you're busy. You cannot spend all of the day learning. So you can come back and check your progress. So for example, this is what we have, how to get started with Cloud Essentials. And you have the different elements related to the courses, diagram, documentations, resources directly available from Skill Builders. One tip that I give you if you use Skill Builders is to go to the learning plan. So this is the best way, in fact, for you to have a structured approach about the different aspects. It's job-based. So typically, what's going to happen, you have like learning plan for solution architect, learning plan, for example, for DBA, learning plan for decision makers, and you have like this curated collection of resources that you can use in order to follow step-by-step your learning process. So you have digital content, but you have also labs. You have also exam preparations to be sure that you get ready when you pass your certifications. So this is Skill Builders. Inside of Skill Builders, there is also practical aspect. And one of them that Daniel told about is the gamifications and the video games. And this is called Cloud Quest. When you look at Cloud Quest, this is an immersive environment where you're going to be an avatar and you're going to have multiple missions to solve. So there is different domain, different path. For example, cloud practitioners, there will be one for social architect and many more. So what's going to happen? You're going to have missions coming from different customers. So you will customize your own avatars based on your needs and how you want to look at. And then when you get ready, in fact, you go to the map and then you will be able to have challenges for these customers. So here we get ready, we have our beautiful avatars. So now let's move on and we have these first steps in order to look at the different elements. So we will have a customers that's going to ask us questions related to high-BT and best practices. So typically here we look at the different components and what are the actions that we want to put in place. And when we get ready, we get the framework. So first of all, for your knowledge, first thing, you need to learn. So first step, learning about the concept, digital elements. Then you need to practice it. So typically, you go to the practice, you have step-by-step tutorial that you can follow. So you're going to follow all of these steps where in a playground that is safe, isolated from any kind of environment. So you're going to implement directly into the management console the different elements that you've seen. For example, here we talk about IBT. So we go to a service that is called EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, and you follow the step. Now you get ready. Next step of maturity, do it yourself, okay? You learn the theoretical knowledge, you have the practical knowledge. So now let's do it without us to tell you how to do it. So you go to the console, same time, you implement the same thing about the actions, you validate, and if everything is okay, you get the point. If there is something that is wrong, you get the notification and say, oh, it's not always completed, so you need to come back on that. So now we completed the challenge, great, we come back to the customers, and we're going to earn these points. So you are in an immersive world, so meaning that you can customize it. So for example, here I want a beautiful castle because you are the architect of the city, and every time that you have those challenges that is completed, you're going to earn points, you're going to level up, and you're going to be able to customize your own avatars. So in this game, you have the ability to have multiple domains. So the one that I'm showing you right now is the part of the cloud practitioner, so essential level. And typically, in this case, is you are new to AWS and you know nothing. So typically, you want to have the foundational level about the core services. But you see that there is different paths: data analytics, solution architect, serverless developer, machine learning, security. So you can, in fact, follow each of these domains, and you can even check your progress where you are, because typically everything that you're going to do will be saved in this vault. So this is what we have here with the role progress. I can switch between the role, and I have specific mission depending on the role that I have. Last thing on CloudQuest that I'm going to show you is the fact that you can earn a digital badge. So at the end, when you finish all of the challenges that you have, typically you can earn badges that you can then share on social media, because we know that typically continuous learning is very important. It's a way for you to prove to your colleagues, but also for future recruiters, that you are continuously learning and making those innovations directly to your company. So this is CloudQuest. So remember, available directly from Skill Builder. Last thing, and this is really the next step of maturity, we have the theoretical knowledge, we have the practical knowledge, and now we want to show you AWS Jam, which is typically something this is really great. Lots of customers love it, because typically we learn a lot more when we made mistakes. So typically, as a trainer, we see our trainers and participants that's going to learn a lot about mistakes that they do. And we're not going to tell them how to do things, in fact. And when you go to the Jam, so we're going to have multiple challenges. So there is different paths for networking, path for security, for databases, and you're going to have 10 challenges that you're going to follow. So different level of difficulty, easy, medium, hard, and it's going to be scenario-based. So we're not going to tell you, okay, go this button, click on this button, then on this service. Here, you have a challenge. Maybe your application is not running, or is it slow, or there is a problem, and you need to investigate. You need to troubleshoot. We're not going to tell you it's exactly there. So you're going to scratch your head on scenario-based questions and challenges about the fact that maybe this is on your comfort zone and you feel confident, but there is things also outside of the comfort zone. And this is the way that we learn typically. In fact, we're going to learn, we go to the console, we're going to see exactly, okay, is it this area, or maybe it's a mistake, I need to go in another area, I'm going to debug, I'll look the metrics. And when I complete, in fact, all of these challenges, I will be able to see if it solves the problem of this specific challenge. So here I'm connected to the console. I look at the specific services. For example, I don't have all of the permissions, so that's why also I have this message. And then when I go there, I implement my change, and then I can come back on the platform in order to say, okay, let's check my progress. Based on that, if I implement my change, automatically I will earn the points for this specific challenge, and I can move to the next task. So in order to finish the challenge, I need to complete all of the tasks of the challenge. So typically here, I have another questions related to the algorithm load balancing. There is a problem, it's not working appropriately. So I need to investigate. So I come back to the console, I go to the different services, and I put in place all the knowledge that I had previously into skill builders in order to be sure that I'm going to solve this challenge. Now I solve the challenge, and at this time you earn the points and you can move forward to the next challenge. So there is different paths. Here, this is the path for networking, but you have one for security, you have one for analytics, you have one for essentials also. So this is a great way, accessible directly from skill builders. And just for information, as a trainer, we also have in ILT, it's training with participants, where we do jam sessions, and typically you have a lot of gamification, you can have a leaderboard, and you can play with your team. So great way, in fact, to learn. And to summarize, you have the three elements. First, theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge with the CloudQuest, and then next step as a maturity, how to implement it, how to troubleshoot with AWS Jam. So thank you for your audience. Hope it was useful, and feel free to ask some question if you have. I'm just next to it.
Yes. So to get trained, it's aws.skillbuilder. Thank you.